and all you people tuning in. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad you're here today. Today, I want to talk about the fork in the road. I'm not talking silverware that someone left an actual fork in the road. You know what I mean, when you go down a path and then you get to decide, am I going to the right or to the left, or maybe there's another option, or are we going back the way we came? Now, the analogy I'm going to use is when a writer is creating, there's like all these thoughts and ideas and information, and you go, oh yeah, I'm going to have the characters do this, and then they're going to get married, and then, well, one falls down and is in an accident, and then they divorce because he can't decide to take care of her. It doesn't matter what happens to the characters. It's just a story. But there's a fork in the road with the characters. The creative person is going down that road, and they get to decide, am I going to take the characters this direction, or am I going to take them this direction? And I think that's a lot like life. I'm not talking about people's marriages, but I'm talking about when we are following a certain path. Like, I first became a computer programmer, and I did that for 10 years. I absolutely loved it. And I decided one day, I walked into work, and it just didn't feel right. I felt like I should just turn around and go home. It was my fork in the road. It's like, what do I do next? And I knew that I needed to give up the computer field and do this work full time, because that's what made me happy. That's what flowed through my veins. And I did give up my job. I gave 2 weeks notice. I didn't just turn around and walk out. But sometimes we get to that fork in the road and we go, you know what? I'm not sure which way I need to go. And I talk to a lot of people about their careers, what they're doing, what I think would be better for them to do. Or maybe I just say, you're good where you're going. You're at a fork, but you're going to take a little sidestep. So there's not a right answer to what to do when you get to the fork in the road. The right answer is inside. You're going to know what's right when it happens for you. You're going to know. You're going to say, well, I don't want to go that way, and I don't want to go that way. But what if you went just straight forward? Maybe you went back and turned a little bit and went forward. It doesn't really matter, because it's your life. I believe we're here to fully experience life in a body and just have the time of our lives. Just explore and decide, what do I really want to do? I've talked to several people that were one course away from their master's degree, and they didn't finish the course. They didn't want the degree. They didn't want to go down that path. They said, what's the use of taking one more course when I'm not going to do that profession or that vocation? And I thought, it's only one course. But for them, they were done. They just didn't want to do that anymore. I mean, I went to a 4-year college, and am I doing computer science right now? No, but it was a foundation block. It brought me forward, and then I went a little to the left, a little bit to the right, and I took my fork in the road a while back, like 30 years ago. But I knew that I needed change. I knew that there was a fork in the road. So when you come upon that, just say to yourself, what do I need to do? And if you don't know, drop me a line, make an appointment. We'll figure out what to do when you get to that fork in the road. Or you can contact your best friend, your support system, whatever that might be, and say, hey, I'm at a fork in the road. What's going on? What do you suggest? Sometimes it's just sitting on it and saying, what do I want to do? And that's the tip I have for you today. I'd love to hear your stories when you got to any forks in the road, and how they're success stories, because you know when you went down the right one, and you know when you went down the wrong one. Or not really wrong, another choice that didn't quite resonate the way you wanted it to. Anyways, love to hear from you. # Psychic Senses for those of you that are seeing me for the first time, and I will talk to you real soon. Bye for now.